And here we are, finally back to this case. Well, let's see how this goes. I have a report. We have detected traces of normalium from the teapot. Hold on. I'm gonna do that again. Wait, the best, okay. I have to get all the voices back.
You can't be serious.
It's just like Mr. Edgeworth said.
Darn it! Did Mr. Edgeworth take the title of the best from me again?
Mr. The Best, it seems like you have an obsession about being the best. But when you're on a case, winning or losing is of no importance.
What do you say? Obviously, it's best to be the best at everything.
If you can't understand that, then you have no business being a prosecutor.
What? What?
Please stop harassing Sebastian. Sebastian, a person of your caliber has no need to listen to such things.
Justine, yeah, you're right.
Please leave this to me. Why don't you go check on the victim's condition?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll be right back then.
Alright, I'll be waiting. Judge Courtney is much more troublesome than Mr. The Best. Well then. Miss Curator, can you tell us why normalium was discovered in the teapot? Wait, I was not aware that it contained such a chemical. I'll probably get back into more, I'll probably get more, I can't even think of the word. It'll probably become better when I've streamed a little longer. I suppose it may have been an ingredient used from the detergent I had used. So you're saying that you did not put it in deliberately? No, of course not. There's no way for me to have known how to... There's no way for me... There's no way for me to have known how to create the poison gas. Yeah, no. Despite being a former actress, it seems you are not very good at lying. What do you mean? The Angel's recipe is in your possession, and the method to create the poison gas is contained inside the recipe book. So you must have known how to create it. I'm surprised you knew about that. Miss Curator, is this true? It's true that information about the poison gas is contained in one of the recipes. However, just because I saw it does not mean that I was responsible for the crime. Could you tell me what set off the poison gas? It was caused by the victim heating the lid of the glass case with a burner. Huh? I see. If he locked himself in that room of his own will and then set off the poison gas, wouldn't that suggest suicide? Oh boy. Does she intend to deny it until the bitter end? Furthermore, I wouldn't have been able to obtain a chemical like Megatoxin X. That may be true, but you could have stolen it from someone else. Wait,
Wait. That reminds me, I met up with Katie a week ago, and that night was when I realized that my Megatoxin X was gone. Katie, you couldn't have.
Madame Alicia always carried her medicine bag around with her. Anyone could have stolen it. That's right. I don't have any proof that she was the one who stole it. Kate, can't you tell us what you're hiding? I know you're not the kind of person who would hurt someone without a reason.
Mr. Shields, you taught me as well?
Setting a trap on one of the gallery's exhibits and then disguising the rooms. I just think it would have been impossible for anyone but the curator.
That's not true. There are no guards or security cameras at this gallery. Any ill-intentioned person wanted to sneak into the gallery. It would have been an easy task for them.
Wait.
Then, isn't it like an all-you-can-eat steel buffet in here? You have to be careful. You never know when a great thief could appear.
It doesn't sound like a joke when Kay says it.
Actually, Monsieur Gustavia apparently entered the gallery before it opened.
Well, I'm beat. Looks like Uncle Ray can't do anything to break down Kate's iron guard. This might be a good time to use the technique your old man taught me. The technique my father taught you. This case is deeply connected to the one from 18 years ago. If we just pursue the present case, it may seem like there's a lot we don't understand. But if we try turning things around, there might be a hint in the case from the past. Thinking the other way around. Did my father do that too? For example, just consider the relationship between the past case and Kate. Miss Hall melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures 18 years ago, and today Mr. Dover's works are on display in this gallery. It can't be. I see. Now I know what to ask her. Oh, do I? That's good to hear. In that case, Uncle Ray will just watch over you as you do your work. Miss Catherine Hall, 18 years ago, it seems that you melted Mr. Dover's sherbet sculptures.
Yes, I was young and inexperienced, and I did something inexcusable.
However, isn't that why you were able to open the Zodiac Art Gallery?
I don't know what you mean. I don't understand either. Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you seek her testimony?
Yes, I would like her to tell me about the Zodiac Art Gallery. I would like to know the reason you decided to open a gallery for Mr. Dover's artwork.
If you insist that this is related to the case at hand, I will allow it. Miss Curator, your testimony, if you please. Very well. If that will clear your suspicion about me.
Hey yo.
Now then, please testify about the Zodiac Art Gallery.
Oh boy.
18 years after Monsieur Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back this mansion. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. I collected Pierre Hoquet's works from all over the world. After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery.
Okay. She became an actress, like a really successful one. That's where she got money.
It's wonderful that your dream has come true. What do you think, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I don't believe there was anything strange about her testimony.
Judge Courtney, I believe in the courtroom. It is standard to cross-examine the witness. Wouldn't you agree that it's a little too early to say that there are no contradictions?
You speak like a defense attorney. Very well. Proceed as you please.
Okay, let's see. 18 years after Monsieur Master was arrested, I was finally able to buy back this mansion. It must have taken a lot of hard work these past 18 years to buy back the mansion.
The place full of my memories with Monsieur Master. It is the only place for me.
Okay. Dance, dance, dance time.
No matter what, at any cost, I wanted it back. She looks like She looks like she's having fun.
Well, she is a former actress. Singing and dancing is her livelihood. Enough with the singing. Please continue your testimony. Then, in order to maintain it, I decided to manage it as an art gallery. I just wish there wasn't any singing while I just started streaming. Okay. Are you managing this gallery by yourself?
Yes, well I say manage, but Yes, well I say manage, but I only opened it today. And I must continue protecting this mansion. So that Monsieur Master has a place to return to.
So she took back the mansion for Mr. Master's sake. For Mr. Master's sake. Kate, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was powerless.
It's not your fault, Monsieur Shields. I couldn't do anything either. All I can do now is continue to protect the mansion.
Okay. I collected Pierre Hoquet's work from all over the world. Pierre Hoquet, that's Mr. Dover's alias, correct?
Yes, it's the name he used when he worked as a sculptor in France.
About collecting his works. How did you prepare the Taurus and Gemini sculptures? I heard that Mr. Dover passed away before he completed those two sculptures.
I had the sculptures in the Winter Palace specially made, based on the photos I took.
Oh, did you? Oh? Could you tell us about that in more detail?
After all, it was my dream to open the Zodiac Art Gallery.
Wait.
I prepared replicas of the sculptures in the Winter Palace based on the photos I took.
Okay. So wait, what exactly are the photos of? What? Lag. I don't really... Let's just press that first. Well, he's definitely dead now. By the photos, do you mean the ones taken in Isaac Dover's room?
Yes. You seem quite familiar with the events from 18 years ago, Monsieur Edgeworth. So the sculptures in the Winter Palace were replicas. They melted, and I didn't even get to see them once.
No, the sherbet sculptures shouldn't have been replicas. Miss Hall is obviously lying.
After all that trouble it took to prepare them, it's a shame they melted.
The sculptures in the Winter Palace are the same sherbet sculptures from 18 years ago. Unless I point that out to her, I won't be able to find out the truth. Wow, actually telling me the exact fucking answer. Okay, it's lagging more than usual. I'm not sure why. Prepare replicas. Oh, I didn't even remember that that was a thing I had. Did you really think that your excuses would continue to hold up? No matter how much you lie, you can't deny the composition of the sculptures. From the analysis results, it's quite clear that the sculptures in the Winter Palace are the sherbet sculptures Mr. Dover created.
Oh, oi, Molly! As a pharmacist, it's my turn to shine. What we call sugar actually comes in many different varieties and tastes. Even if the sculptures were replicas, it's nearly impossible to replicate the composition.
I think that was her voice. I see. Thank you for the explanation. Though I don't recall asking for one. That, Miss Hall, means you couldn't have melted the sherbet sculptures back then. You stole them and preserved them for 18 years. Oh, is it actually gonna be the cryogenic stuff?
What? She preserved the sherbet for 18 whole years?
Huh. If you freeze it properly, it's not impossible.
Silence, please. Miss Curator, what do you have to say?
I can't believe you already uncovered so much.
So you're admitting that you stole the sherbet sculptures?
No, I cannot admit to such a thing. There isn't any proof that I stole them after all. Also, I couldn't have stolen the sculptures 18 years ago. I don't think they would have been easy to steal without the police noticing.
Is that so? I don't know what you did 18 years ago. As such, how can I judge how difficult it would have been to steal them?
It looks like you won't give up so easily.
I don't intend on giving up until I learn the truth.
I understand.
I like how that implies that as soon as he learns the truth, he's willing to give up.
Then I shall tell you what I did 18 years ago. On the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging. During the judging at Monsieur Master's request, I went to change the film in the camera. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur Dover's body. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation. It was then that I witnessed Mr. Gustavia entering Monsieur Dover's room.
Hold on, I need to read through that again when it comes to the actual thing.
That was everything I had done on that day. I don't think there's anything suspicious about my actions.
That's not your decision to make.
Mr. Edgeworth, were there any contradictions in her testimony?
For now, I should just prove that she stole the sculptures. But when could Miss Hall have stolen them? If I can answer that, her crime should come to light. Okay, on the day of the incident, I was waiting in the main building until the judging. During the judging at Monsieur Master's request, I went to change the film in the camera. But before I could deliver the camera to him, I discovered Monsieur Dover's body. After Monsieur Gregory arrived, I prepared tea for everyone involved in the investigation. It was then that I witnessed Mr. Gustavia entering Mr. Dover's room. It kind of feels weird, this whole thing. Now, when could she have stolen the sculptures?
When did Miss Hall steal the sherbet, eh? Even with the brains of a great thief, I'm stumped.
If you want to know what happened, you should ask someone who was there. Don't forget, you can always count on Uncle Ray. Yes, that's right. Okay. Let's just go pressing. What were you doing before the judging began?
I was in my room on the second floor practicing my dancing. I was performing on the TV show Piece of Cake back then.
Piece of cake? What kind of show was that?
It was a children's program. The hosts made sweets while singing and dancing.
Oh, That sounds like fun!
Well, that's unexpected. You knew about the show, Miles? My father told me about it once, so I just happened to watch it a few times. So, Miss Hall was practicing her dancing in her room. Could Miss Hall have stolen the... Oh, this is how this is supposed to go. Oh boy. It couldn't have been then. I should listen to more of her testimony. Oh boy, this is gonna be tricky. Open the camera. Isn't this the... like, isn't this what's supposed to happen? So, you were the only one who could move freely during the judging period.
I certainly would have been. It certainly would have had more freedom to move about than the contestants.
I certainly would have had more freedom.
However, I couldn't possibly have stolen the sculptures right in front of Monsieur Master. Moreover, upon being asked to change the film, I went directly to the entryway.
Lag! At Mr. Master's request, she went to change the film and the camera. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculptures then? Yeah, sure. Nope. This was when you stole the sherbet sculptures.
And how would I have done that?
That's...
Only the Great Thief could have taken it then, you know?
Shit, that was my old K voice. It seems I was mistaken. My apologies, please continue, Miss Hall. Fuck. Before I could deliver the camera, I discovered the body. Is it here? Did you do so in the same manner as today?
Yes, I poured tea for everyone working in the investigation.
Now that you mention it, Uncle Ray also got some tea from you that day. Ken was pushing a service cart back and forth from the patio to the main building. I see. Did anything seem strange to you then? Well, I remember your old man singing praises of her Ceylon tea. And he also said something about how the saucer was The saucer was chilled. Could Miss Hall have stolen the sculpture then? Yes. This was when you stole the sherbet sculptures.
I'm sorry, but Monsieur Shields and company were at the fountain patio the entire time. Are you saying that I stole them in broad daylight?
That's precisely what I'm saying. This is where she hid the sculptures to steal them right under their noses. Boom! Neither my father nor Mr. Shields realized the sculpture was right in front of them. What you were pushing around was no ordinary service cart, cause it was this thing. I think they're basically the exact same size if you lay them on their side. It was the sculpture itself.
But surely that would be impossible. If she placed the sculptures on the service cart, people would notice immediately.
I never said she used the service cart to move the sculptures. Yup.
What? What do you mean? Then what did she use to move the sculptures around?
No, I'm pretty sure they're basically the same size. Yeah, as I said, she just laid them down.
And this is...
This is the lift trolley Mr. Dover used 18 years ago to move his sherbet sculptures. It seems the same lift trolley lies here in the fountain patio. Yeah, the perspective is a little off. You just have to suspend disbelief a little bit.
That's because it was originally prepared for the contest in the first place. Are you saying she used the lift trolley to move the sculptures?
Yes. If the sculptures were placed on this lift trolley and then covered with a tablecloth, it could be disguised as a service cart and moved around without arousing suspicion.
How could that be?
So the saucers were chilled because they were sitting on the ice sculptures? Kate, what's the meaning of this? What were you thinking?
That was truly impressive. You certainly are, Monsieur Gregory's son. After 18 years, it's hard to imagine any proof that I stole the sculptures were made. But I knew it was only a matter of time until I was suspected. Miss Curator, does this mean you admit to stealing the sculptures? Yes, I admit it. 18 years ago, I stole the sherbet sculptures from Monsieur Dover's room.
Oh man, she's gonna go all sad again.
It's just as Monsieur Edgeworth says. I disguised the lift trolley as a service cart, and I served tea as I made my way back and forth. That wasn't all. I also took the ice block with all the star clusters on it.
The what? An ice block with star clusters on it. Oh, those, yeah. That seems familiar. A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. No, the inside must be hollow. The Winter Palace is a reproduction of Mr. Dover's room from 18 years ago. Because they had melted, my father never got the chance to see them. But those blocks of ice were also originally from Dover's sherbet salon.
The two sculptures and the 2 blocks of ice, I took everything I could. And then I placed empty glass cases in Monsieur Dover's room. The sculptures were all encased in glass to preserve their fine details. But the ice blocks were being displayed as they were. As per the rules, we prepared the glass cases for Mr. Dover.
So it would have been easy for her to prepare the glass cases.
In Monsieur Dover's room, there were some sculptures that were still unfinished. I thought if I melted them, it would look like the ones I stole had melted too. So everything you see in the Winter Palace are all original works from 18 years ago. Miss Hall, it didn't take much to get her to confess.
Then she must know then she knows it isn't enough to try in court.
That is all I had to say. But, even though I admit to stealing the sculptures, you can't arrest me for it.
There we go.
What? What do you mean by that? Heavens! You're assisting in an investigation without knowing this much? Perhaps you should read this book concerning the Statute of Limitations. Statute of Limitations?
Oh boy. What does it exactly say here? Murder 15 years, theft 7 years. Both of those are gone. If the suspect flees to or lives in a foreign country, the time limit is on hold until the suspect returns. And she was in France or something. If possible accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached, then resumes. If charges are pressed to demand compensation, the statute is frozen for the length of that procedure. To put it simply, it's the time frame in which a suspect can be taken to court. You can see it on this page.
The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years, and for theft it's 7 years. Ah!
Or something like that. That's right, and Miss Hall's theft was 18 years ago. According to the statute, she cannot be arrested for stealing the sculptures.
So that's how it is. Stealing evidence from a crime scene is an unforgivable offense. However, for this crime at least, we have no right to pass judgment.
Yep. But I think she went to a different country for at least 3 years. Or something like that.
It appears that Prosecutor Edgeworth's tepid reasoning has all been for naught.
I wonder about that. I deduce Miss Hall's action simply to expose a different crime. If she only took the sculptures, we wouldn't have found the body from 18 years ago.
Are you saying? Are you saying that I hit Monsieur Dover's body?
That's correct.
But how can someone hide a body for 18 years?
I would imagine it would be very difficult under normal circumstances.
So you're saying the circumstances weren't normal? Are you claiming that you know where the body was hidden?
Oh my god. When you consider Miss Hall's actions, the answer becomes obvious. 18 years ago, Miss Hall stole something more than just Sherbet sculptures.
If you're so confident, I would like to hear your answer. Where did Miss Hall hide the body?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yep, you were totally right. Do I show that? Yep.
This is...
It was in the Normalium.
This is the photograph of Mr. Dover's sculptures.
Yes, and perhaps you've noticed that the victim's body can be seen in this picture. What?
I do not see it. Please point it out clearly. Where in this picture can one see the body of the victim?
It's time to expose the location of the body in that photograph.
Is it supposed to be here? The Gemini sculpture?
Yes. While it may look like the Gemini sculpture at first glance, in reality, this is none other than Isaac Dover himself.
This ice sculpture was the victim's body? But all I can see from this picture is an ice sculpture statue.
It's kind of a stretch. The whole act part of that makes it weird.
But all I can see from this picture is an ice sculpture statue.
That's because a certain piece of evidence was used to conceal it.
Conceal it? Which piece of evidence did Miss Hall use to conceal the body?
That would be the fluorescent cloth? Yes.
This is the cloth that was covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace.
Why is my audio so fluctuating? This cloth manipulates light. With it, it's entirely possible to make something look like ice. Yeah, I don't know why it did that. Hold on. Maybe that'll help. Isn't that right, Alicia?
You see,
Well, now it's full force back.
when it glows red, it's like a raging inferno. And when it glows blue, you can almost feel the glittering cool ice.
That cloth will only emit light when it is attached to a special device.
Judge Courtney, look closely at the picture one more time. Beneath the Gemini case lies a box-shaped object attached to the pedestal.
This is...
Oh boy! A rainbow light device. Detective Gumshoe reported one in the Winter Palace. This is the device that went missing 18 years ago. Originally, it would have been attached to the cloth inside the glass case. Naturally, Miss Hall took the device with her when she moved the sculptures. By using the rainbow light device to make the fluorescent cloth glow, Mr. Dover's body was made to look like an ice sculpture.
That's ridiculous.
So then, when Uncle Ray took a photo of the Winter Palace, that's right, the body had been in front of us all along, disguised as Gemini.
However, the body and the fluorescent cloth were both discovered in the fountain. If the ice sculpture was the body, we would have found it in the Winter Palace.
If we had found it there, her trick would have been revealed immediately. Miss Hall moved the body out of the Winter Palace to prevent us from discovering it.
Absurd. You say she threw the body into the fountain without any of us noticing.
No, Judge Courtney, there was no need for that. She simply used the same method as before. Remember the lift trolley?
Ah!
She moved the body to some other room and dumped it into the stream to the fountain. Naturally, the frozen body would have sunk to the bottom of the fountain. That's why the cloth floated up first and was found by Delicia.
And eventually the body thawed out and floated to the surface. Monsieur Edgeworth, you truly have a gift for deductive reasoning. However, do you have any proof that I moved the body?
Fucking proof! It's like... It probably didn't float Probably depends on how the ice is, like, specifically composed. I mean, it's not technically ice, sure, but...
If you cannot prove that, then there's no way I can accept what you are saying. Wasn't there anyone who saw Miss Hall move the body?
Yes, I believe such a person exists. The answers lie in the evidence that person gave me. And that piece of evidence will reveal the truth of Miss Hall's actions.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you able to prove that the crime of Miss Curator?
Certainly. I have evidence that will show exactly what she did. I do?
Then it's time we see your answer. Which piece of evidence reveals Miss Curator's actions?
lag. I think maybe? Wow. Wow, yes it is.
Another sketch. Oh, it appears I have been drawn in this one.
This is a sketch Larry drew of the women at the fountain patio. I would like to direct your attention to the service card on the left side of the sketch.
Service card. What about it?
Don't you see? What transpired 18 years ago has happened again. Miss Hall was moving the body in this sketch.
No! Please wait! I don't see Mr. Dora's body anywhere in that drawing. All I did was hand out chocolates to everyone.
The key detail in this sketch is the color of the tablecloth. Up until now, I thought Larry had just made a mistake.
The tablecloth, it's light blue.
It may be light blue in the sketch, but no blue tablecloths exist in this mansion. Perhaps it's light blue because the body was hidden, still glowing, underneath the tablecloth. Whoa!
What? But the lift trolley is rectangular in this sketch. If she just placed the body in the lift trolley, we would notice it immediately.
There were 2 blocks of ice in the Winter Palace that are completely hollowed out. If she put the body inside the block of ice, it would look like a service cart.
That's...
Miss Hall? You put the body in the block of ice and used the lift trolley to move it, didn't you?
I never imagined you would be able to do so much from just a single sketch. But what if it was just a mistake, like you said before? It doesn't prove anything.
I agree that alone the sketch is worthless. Once you remove the body, the service cart would revert back to a lift trolley. That's why the lift trolley was left behind in the fountain patio. And without the service cart, there would be no place for you to put the chocolates.
The chocolates I gave everyone?
Until then, the chocolates had sat on top of the service cart as you gave them away. But, when you gave them to us, you took them from your pocket. Oh!
Now that you mention it, they were a bit melted. But they were still really sweet and tasty.
So why was it necessary to put them in your pocket halfway through? Yes! That's like exactly the whole reasoning.
That's because
once the body was disposed of, you no longer had a service cart.
Ah! Hold it right there. If she put the chocolates in her pocket and left the lift trolley in the patio, then where did the tablecloth go?
If she had been forced to put the chocolates in her pocket, she wouldn't have had time to dispose of the tablecloth.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, can you answer that for me?
The tablecloth wasn't hidden. It's right in front of us. You are wearing it, Courtney.
To clarify, the tablecloth used to hide the body. Where is it now?
I'm gonna guess she has it with her. Yep. Isn't it obvious? Miss Hall is carrying it with her out in the open. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Out in the open? Ah, you mean...
Miss Hall? You are wearing the tablecloth around your waist. Oh. The block of ice was not encased in a glass case. In other words, the tablecloth was in direct contact with the block of ice. If we have it examined, we will undoubtedly find traces of sherbetol on it. Miss Hall, you will turn your tablecloth over to the police at once. It's around her waist, yeah.
There's no need to examine the tablecloth. It is just as you say. I stole the poison from Madame Delicia, and I moved the body.
What is she playing now?
I have done terrible things.
I mean, basically just that, yeah, she has it around her waist. It's the white part of her apron. And now she does the whole thing again of, yes, it was me, but I am tragic.
Madame Delicia, I'm so sorry. 1 week ago, I took your Megatoxin X bottle. I slipped it into that man's pocket to make it look like suicide. And if they suspected it was murder, the evidence would point to Madame Delicia.
Hey, Katie!
Kate, what were you thinking? Weren't we always trying to save Mr. Masters together?
I could not let myself be arrested. Not until I had proven Monsieur Master's innocence. From the very beginning, I had planned to turn myself in once everything was over. But I suppose it is too late to say that now.
Kate, why? Why would you go this far?
Even for Monsieur Shields, I've caused nothing but trouble. For the past 18 years, I have been a criminal.
The IS-7 incident, don't tell me you were the true culprit.
My greatest crime was stealing the Sherbet sculptures for my own selfish interests. When Monsieur Dover died, they were no longer just ordinary sculptures. They had become the final works of the sculptor Monsieur Master so deeply loved. What if they melted before Monsieur Master returned? With that in mind, I couldn't let anyone touch them, not even the police. Even though I knew it was wrong, I moved them to the mansion's freezer. However, I only wanted to preserve Monsieur Dover's art. I didn't know his body was hidden among them.
So she stole the sculptures without noticing the body.
Monsieur Master would never take another person's life. But because of me, the body vanished, and Monsieur Master was found guilty. That kind man, he treated someone like me as family. He meant more to me than anyone else, and yet...
Kate...
When Monsieur Master was found guilty, I was chased out of this mansion. I was finally able to reclaim the mansion just a few days ago, but... When I saw the sculpture still sleeping away in the freezer, I realized that I was the one who hid Monsieur Dover's body. However, the statute of limitations had already expired. Therefore, I could think of no other way to atone for my sins.
So yes, it was her apron. And she says she wanted to preserve the sculptures for when Mr. Master is found innocent in this whole thing. And yeah, she basically said that she did everything, but she did not know that the sculptures contained the body. And now we'll see how much of a lie that is. It appears I have misunderstood her. It seems she caused this entire incident in order to save Mr. Master. What you thinking about, Mr. Edgeworth? God damn it. There's one thing that has been bothering me this whole time. Why would Miss Hall plan a murder with such an uncertain method like poison gas? And the reason she disguised the Autumn Palace to look like the Winter Palace was to make those involved in the incident 80 years ago confuse the two rooms.
I wonder what Kate was trying to accomplish.
Good question. She was trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence. In that case, Miss Hall's true objective was to make us find the body? No. I hope so. Was it to make us investigate and find the body? But that's not enough to prove Mr. Master's innocence. In that case, Miss Hall's true objective was to find the true culprit? Perhaps she would... Nope. Oh, was it? Perhaps she was trying to find the true culprit. It was? Okay. So she isn't, or is she? I don't know anymore. Miss Hall? Were you trying to prove Mr. Master's innocence? You wanted to reveal the true culprit and have the police find the body from 18 years ago. Was that not your true goal? By displaying those sculptures, you attract those involved in the past incident. Only two people would know where the body was hidden. You and the true culprit. The culprit would have panicked knowing that the body would be displayed publicly. Yes, and if the culprit really showed up, there's a risk they'd erase their tracks. In the worst case scenario, they might have even stolen the body. So how could she protect the evidence while simultaneously luring in the culprit? I see. That's why she made the Autumn Palace look like the Winter Palace. Yes, and then, Miss Hall, you must have thought... Whoever opens the Pisces case, believing it to be the Gemini case...
What? Is it Gustavia?
Believing it to be the Gemini case, must be the true culprit of the IS-7 incident. Whoa.
What? But that means... that person is the true culprit? Please wait a moment, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Do you realize what you're saying? Do you intend to accuse that person of being the culprit behind the IS-7 incident?
Jesus. Miss Hall was trying to trap the true culprit. If so, wouldn't the person who fell for the trap be the true culprit? However, I have no evidence to back up my claims. If I make a formal accusation without any proof, it will not end well. Should I announce the true killer of Isaac Dover? Sure, let's bluff. What I should do is reveal the truth. In that case, there is no need to hesitate. So, did you, in case you missed it, it seems like Gustavia might be the true culprit after all. Whoops. Yes, that's correct, Judge Courtney. I indict this person as the true culprit behind the IS-7 incident.
Dane Gustavia, who fell victim to the poison gas, is the true culprit of the IS-7 incident?
Gussie is...
Mr. Gustavia. Miss Hall, didn't you believe that if you opened this gallery, the true culprit would come? That's why you set up the poison gas trap, is it not?
You truly have a gifted mind, just like your father. It is as you say, Monsieur Edgeworth.
Now, would you please tell us the whole truth?
Yes, I have nothing more to hide. I will tell you everything. I set a trap in the gallery to find the true culprit. Before the gallery opened, I left only the Autumn Palace unlocked. At opening time, when I went around to unlock each room, I discovered that the Autumn Palace had been locked from the inside. I knew that the true culprit was on the other side of the door. My hand was trembling.
All that was left was for the trap to do its work.
When I heard Monsieur Gustavia was exposed to the poison gas, I realized he was the culprit. And I thought that if the police discovered Monsieur Dover's body, it would prove Monsieur Master's innocence.
Why didn't you ever come talk to me? There might have been another way.
I know that you did everything you could for me over the past 18 years.
So hold on. It doesn't say... I think he was away too.
However, all of this had been brought on by my own crime. That's why I wanted to save Monsieur Master as soon as possible.
Kate.
Not only that, the police hid the fact that the body went missing 18 years ago. Even if I reported the body, there was a chance that the truth would be hidden again. That's why I caused the incident at the museum opening, with as many witnesses as possible.
I'm sorry. Gregory, Mr. Master, and even you, I couldn't protect anyone. Mr. Shields, you must be tough on him as well.
The one who should be apologizing is me. Monsieur Edgeworth, Monsieur Shields, I'm terribly sorry. I shall accept whatever punishment I'm given. However, I must ask of you, please clear Monsieur Master's name.
The truth that was hidden for 18 years was revealed in an unexpected manner. However, to think that things would end this way... To be continued. Last part. Oh boy. Oh boy. Miss Hall, have you composed yourself?
Yes.
What you did, no matter the reason, was unforgivable.
Yes, I know.
However, you committed this crime in order to prove Mr. Master's innocence. If the true culprit is someone else, we have a duty to reinvestigate.
No false evidence from the IS-7 incident remains in the official case files. Moreover, there is no evidence to lend credence to Miss Hall's testimony. We should first arrest Miss Hall as the culprit behind today's incident.
We cannot be certain that all the case files are accurate. After all, the prosecutor in the case has a history of forging evidence.
Are you suggesting that the pig overlooked such a prosecutor?
That's none of my concern. The truth is that evidence was falsified. And the fact that Dover's body from 18 years ago was just discovered proves it.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I can see remnants of Prosecutor Von Karma within you.
What did you say?
You try to deceive the pick and fabricate the truth. Let me inform you of my, or rather, the pick's logic.
So this is the last chapter. This is what the last chapter is all about.
I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body. However, he successfully convicted Mr. Master as an accomplice. I believe that the true culprit was Miss Curator herself. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame on him.
Is that really what the pick believes?
Yes, every word I utter is for the sake of law and order.
He was basically forced through borderline torture to confess. Even though he didn't do shit. It seems she intends to hide the truth for the sake of the pick. At this rate, neither Mr. Master nor Miss Hall will be saved. Okay. I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body. However, he successfully convicted Mr. Master as an accomplice. I believe that the true culprit was Miss Curator herself. She even attempted to murder Mr. Gustavia today in order to pin the blame on him. I cannot allow this case to end here. There is still something that needs to be cleared up. You know the game's going to pull something to rectify that anyway. Looks like I'll have to show Judge Courtney something to convince her. I acknowledge that Prosecutor Von Karma fabricated the information about the body. Okay, what exactly do we all have? What is this? It's not even what the how the We Saw Steve meme works. That's also not how that one works. False memes. Okay, let's just press. If you acknowledge that, why won't you reopen the case?
The goddess of law does not err in her judgments. What Prosecutor Von Karma may have...
Objection.
What the... I was scared by... not by the game, I was scared by something else. If you ask me, it's all been bogus ever since Von Karma fabricated evidence. And you claim that justice was served. What is the pick thinking?
I can already declare my verdict. There is no need for further investigation.
Let's hear your explanation on the matter then. I heard that the biggest factor in Mr. Master's conviction was his confession. If Prosecutor Von Karma had a hand in his confession, the ruling may not be just.
The initial investigation was handled by Detective Ripley, sir. He was the one who obtained the confession, according to the official reports. All I can say is that the ruling has already been handed down.
Jeez, why does Miss Courtney have to be so stubborn? Is the pick so high and mighty?
They sure seem like the arch enemy of prosecutors, to say the least.
So kind of like what the police are, the crate thieves.
Says the great thief who nonchalantly works alongside the police. Okay, let me actually... What if that is case 4? Let's see. I feel like... Nope. Judge Courtney, there is a contradiction in testimony.
I cannot authorize this statement.
And why not?
Because it's bullshit.
There isn't an autopsy report because the body was never found. Right? Wait, is that exactly what it says in there? Oh, wait. But why does it say, but what's the true reason? Like, what else could be the true reason? Are you saying that both Miss Hall and Mr. Master murdered Isaac Dover?
Mr. Master committed the murder while Miss Curator moved the body. That's what I believe. What? How can you say that? We would never kill Monsieur Dover. Did you not steal the body and preserve it for 18 years? It is only natural to suspect you of being an accomplice.
She has already confessed to her crimes, and now is not the time to judge her of her past crimes.
In that case, let's judge Miss Hall for her current crime.
Okay, then let's press that too. If she wanted to pin the crime on somebody, why choose Mr. Gustavia?
Perhaps Mr. Gustavia suspected Miss Hall was the criminal, as he attempted to confirm whether or not the Gemini sculpture was genuine. He was caught in a trap meant to silence him forever.
Wait, can you prove that theory?
Mr. Gustavia is currently teetering on the brink of death. There's probably no way to prove it unless he regains consciousness. In other words, there is nothing we can do right for now.
That can't be true. There must still be something we can do.
You still don't get it, do you? Allow me to give you a clearer explanation.
Okay, here we go.
We already have ample evidence for both the IS-7 incident and today's poison gas incident. There is no need to investigate any further.
Oh boy. What else should we investigate into? Let's just start pressing that. Are you saying that there is nothing left for us to investigate?
We have already exhausted all ends in regard to the evidence. This court will accept no further deliberations. I shall now deliver my verdict for the defendant, Catherine Hall. I hereby pronounce you...
Hold it. No, you said objection. Not hold it. There's still a need for further investigation.
If you wish to halt my verdict, please do so with evidence. That is, if there is any evidence that requires further deliberation.
I cannot allow this case to end. Oh, I already saw this, okay. Okay, what in this is like... It's not that. Judge Courtney, don't you have a problem with that statement just now? What? Should I have a problem with that? Exactly, because there's no problem at all.
In that case, you should have refrained from speaking in the first place.
Wait, where are raised now? I basically just tried raise notes. Okay, I haven't tried pressing this yet. By ample evidence, you mean...
For the IS-7 incident, we have a body, the murder weapon, and a pair of suspects. For the poison gas incident, we have 2 chemicals and Miss Hall's confession. Furthermore, I have finished collecting all the evidence necessary. For your own pick hearing, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
What?
How can you say something like that so casually?
Miles, you know you're always welcome to join Edgeworth Law Offices. Judge Courtney, I'd like to ask you that you refrain from making such needless remarks.
I understand. Well, regardless...
Okay, so... I do need something from this then. It's not the children, okay. See, I feel there's got to be something in my like evidence that's like that's still not quite cleared up. Nope. I'll try that, yeah. Nope. God damn it. Yeah, I know, but what am I to do? Okay, let's actually read through everything. Used before the police arrived, was used to heat something. I'm pretty sure that this seems like a pretty obvious thing to present something, just have evidence that needs to be investigated. It's not that line. At least not with the IS-7 incident bit. Okay, let me just read through everything. Okay, where was I? The fluorescent cloth. Larry drew a sketch of the Pisces sculpture just as he saw it. Touched the check button for details. The poison gas contains a recipe for the drug that will cure the taste disorder hypogeusia. Fingerprints, finger marks rather. Damn it! Oh cool, it's a new fail phrase. Oh man. I should really just read them all. No matter what. Stained with Dover's blood. This was made to look like a service car and was used to move the body.
And the reason the lift was wet was because the body had been kept inside a case of ice.
Okay, nope. Katie's favorite teapot made by Pierre Hoquet, aka Isaac Dover. There's not really much else to that either. Larry drew the sketch just so you saw it. Hey Neo, can you just like straight up tell me, am I presenting at the right line at this moment? The whole testimony is, I acknowledge that Prosecutor von Karma fabricated the information about the body. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's line 4? Really? But I used that to... That's the one I pressed. Yeah, I pressed that line and that gave me line 5 and 6. Yeah, but it gave me both of them. This was previously the last line. Wow, both work! So I've just been presenting the wrong shit this entire time. But what is that thing? God, now I have to fight that out. Jesus. Yeah. We have ample evidence for both the IS-7 and today. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What have I tried? I've tried the IS-7 file. I've tried the gas burner. I've tried the Pisces sketch. The art thing? Do you mean that? That was weird lag. I don't see anything unclear about this. We tried the Pisces sketch. We tried the frame finger marks. We tried the family photo. We tried the lift trolley. Okay, lag. Cool. Sure. I feel like everything... Okay, everything in this is already... This should already... And the statute of limitations. What? Why in that was unclear? What the hell in that was unclear? Traces of salt, sugar, and blood detected. Because the body was in there, so there's blood, sugar because it's sherbet, and salt because Gustavia helped. Or not Gustavia, whoever it was with the salty shit. We'll see what there is to this. There is still one piece of evidence from the IS-7 incident that remains unsettled. Take a look at this. This is the forensic results from the Gemini sculpture that melted in the Winter Palace. According to the results of the analysis, traces of someone's blood were found. Yeah, so I thought that was... Huh? Who does this blood belong to? Because it didn't say on the fucking paper that it's fucking Dover's blood. Fuck you. Until we know the answer, this case is still open. I mean, it must be, because he was in the sculpture. Am I being dumb? There was blood mixed in with the remains of the Gemini sculpture? I heard nothing of this from Sebastian. This was a report from Detective Gumshoe. I had planned to tell Mr. DeBest myself. Huh. So even though you had no investigative authority, you still did as you please. I should report everything that transpired today to the PIC. I will not avert my eyes from the truth, nor shall I overlook the mistakes of the past. If you wish to report my actions to the PIC, be my guest. But in exchange, I want you to let me investigate this case to the very end. Wait. Jesus. It is not my place to decide such things. I must ask that you check with Sebastian regarding this matter.
Hey, good news, you guys!
Oh.
Thanks to our early detection, Mr. Gustavia's life was saved.
Oh boy. Mr. Gustavia. So, he's alive. Oh boy. Would you be the ones who saved my life? Hey, Miss Gustavia. Huh? You are Sir Assistant, are you not? His voice doesn't fit him at all. You've grown so big. This time, this one is your assistant then? No, I'm... he's an assistant candidate at Gregory Edgeworth's son. I am Miles Edgeworth, the prosecutor. I am Miles Edgeworth, a prosecutor. What a twist of fate. I am in your debt. It is thanks to you that I've completely recovered. There's no need for thanks. Since you're alive, we can reach the truth behind the incident 18 years ago. Huh? What do you speak of? While you were unconscious, the truth has started to come to light. You may be Isaac Dover's murderer.
What? Really?
Miss Hall was looking for the criminal behind the events of 18 years ago. That's why she set up the poison gas in the Pisces case. Mr. Gustavia, the events of the incident 18 years ago. Tell us what really happened. So you wish to remain silent? Nah, I think it's just meditating.
He could sleep standing up?
What? I didn't even read that, I'm an idiot. Meditation is different from sleeping though. Mr. Gustavia, please tell us what you did 18 years ago. I'm the criminal because I fell for the trap. That's not a very funny joke. I'm a victim, not a culprit. Miss Gustavia, it has not yet been made clear whether or not you are the criminal. This is only the baseless speculation. Do not concern yourself with the drivel of a prosecutor without jurisdiction. At least there is one person here who understands. My name is Justine Courtney. I am a judge. If you would like, I would be happy to assist you. Let us show Prosecutor Edgeworth the truth of 18 years ago. Understood. I shall prove my innocence to you, Sir Prosecutor. Judge Courtney, is that your answer? Do you intend to bury the truth of the IS-7 incident before it can be brought to light? I merely believe in the judgments of the Goddess of Law. Ultimately, those who render judgments are only human. As long as humans control the law, there is no guarantee that every verdict is correct. If you are going to help conceal the truth, I will not hold back. I'm looking forward to it. Lady Justine, what should I do now? You are being suspected because you set off the poison gas. Can you tell us the reason? Why you opened the Pisces case? Understood. I came to see Sir Dover's work from 18 years ago. However, I accidentally entered the museum a half hour before it opened. Miss Holmes, there was nobody at the entrance, correct? Since I thought the criminal from 18 years ago might be coming, I had no security guards in place. I didn't even lock the doors. I was very busy with opening preparations, so there was nobody on the first floor. In addition, I locked every palace door aside from the autumn one. I see. This must have been done in order to lure the criminal to the Autumn Palace, which is why he ended up entering the Autumn Palace. It's already suspicious that he snuck into the museum in the first place. The gallery shall remain silent. Just like... how long should this chapter take me from now on? Because I'm not sure if I should take a small break because I kind of have to pee a lot. Gary should remain silent. Unless you have evidence that can prove his testimony false, I will not allow any objections. Gary? This isn't even a courtroom! Now then, why did you open the Pisces case? I wish to view Sir Dover's handiwork up close. The Gemini sculpture... No, it wasn't actually the Pisces, wasn't it? The lid had been frozen shut, so I borrowed the burner to open it. But as soon as I opened the lid, poison gas began pouring out. That's quite a convenient testimony.
It sounds like a total lie, doesn't it? There are parts of Mr. Gustavia's testimony that I have issues with as well. However, there is no evidence to disprove it.
I'll take a small break at the next, at the next testimony or something.
But that's...
Would it not make sense for suspicion to fall on Lady Catherine before myself? She may have intended to release the poison gas haphazardly.
Objection.
Kate turned on the sprinklers as soon as the gas was released. She was specifically targeting the person who triggered the trap. Mr. Gustavia, you were her only target. You are willing to accept the words of this criminal as the truth. Miss Hall must atone for her crimes. However, the same can be said for the criminal from 18 years ago. Can it though? Statute, that's gonna come up. Sir Prosecutor, it seems you wish to suspect me to the bitter end. However, I had no reason to murder Sir Dover. If there is no evidence to suggest that I killed him, you cannot suspect me.
Mr. Edgeworth, can't you prove that Mr. Gustavia is the criminal?
All we know for sure is that Mr. Gustavia fell victim to the poison gas. No matter how strange his behavior was, I won't prove he committed the murder. It won't prove that he... I will not prove that he committed the murder.
But that's... Mr. Shields, is there nothing we can do?
Well, if there isn't any evidence, we should try reorganizing the facts. If Mr. Gustavia was the one who killed Mr. Dover, there must have been a motive. Motive. Mr. Gustavia himself is denying that such a motive exists. Okay, so we have logic then. It's not easy to take another person's life. 18 years ago, your old man also discussed motive with Prosecutor von Karma. You claim that their collaboration is irrelevant. If Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover's relationship had turned sour... Wow, so it's that after all. It could serve as a motive for murder. We couldn't talk with Mr. Gustavia 18 years ago, but this time things are different. If we connect everything we've learned so far, the truth might be revealed. Yes, I suppose so. It seems I must re-examine the information from 18 years ago. I must recall all the details that have remained unexplained. Oh boy, So, the glove finger marks on the picture frame was your doing. So that was unexplained. Or was it? Yeah, it was unexplained, fuck it! Talisha denied leaving the finger marks on the frame. If they were left behind by Mr. Gustavia, he may have been trying to view the angel's recipe.
Monsieur Master asked me to change the film in the camera. It seems the film that he prepared in advance wasn't enough.
There wasn't enough film.
It seems the number of photos he took didn't match up with the amount of filming remaining.
Okay.
Well, he told me himself it might have been just a mistake, though.
The information my father collected 18 years ago was certainly not for naught. If there is no evidence, then I shall use logic to reveal the truth. Answer your... a bit. I'm back. I hope what you guys imagined was playing here was basically just like it was like I will use logic instead. But first I have to take a pee break. Yeah, this one's Mr. Gustavia? You collaborated with the victim Isaac Dover to create your dessert, to create your desserts, didn't you? Oh, it seems you know about my secret. Mr. Shields told me about it. Mr. Dover handled the design while you were in charge of the taste, is that correct? Back then, my training had been insufficient. It seems you worked together until the semifinals, but not during the finals. Why is that? We both wish to compete in the finals against Mr. Master on our own merits. You must have also helped with Isaac Dover's dessert even during the finals. What makes you able to declare something like that? Didn't you tell Prosecutor von Karma about it yourself, 18 years ago? That you cooperated until the day before the finals. Like it comes back 5 minutes later, but with his pants still at his ankles. The sculptures of Mr. Dover's room were all made out of sherbet. Such an amount would most likely need to be left overnight to freeze. Which means Mr. Gustavia prepared Mr. Dover's sherbet in advance the day before.
Huh. That's right. So you realize Gustavia's cooperation ended the day before the finals.
Then why did Mr. Dover not help Mr. Gustavia in return?
The views of the death are of no concern to me.
Why did Isaac Dover not help in return? If there's a reason why your partnership with Isaac Dover broke down, that will be a motive for murder. Oh! That could be a possibility. However, Sir Dover and I ended our partnership peacefully.
A peaceful breakup? That's hard to imagine.
Not to mention, it's absurd to think that I killed Sir Dover in Sir Master's room. I couldn't have killed Sir Dover while Sir Master was also there making his desserts. In other words, there is no way I could have committed the murder.
That's not true. If there was a moment when Mr. Master was absent from the room, I could prove that it was possible for Mr. Gustavia to commit the murder.
Oh! This? Oh shit.
If he had photographed the contents of the angel's recipe, he wouldn't need to steal it. Perhaps Mr. Gustavia used Mr. Master's camera to take pictures.
If he had stolen the actual recipe book, the police would have found it.
I see. Pictures, eh? The problem is the time at which he entered Mr. Master's room. Mr. Gustavia could have moved around freely during the afternoon tea, right? Because it seems both him and Mr. Dover did not participate in the afternoon tea.
But why did that come up now? That doesn't really have any relation to the fact that he wanted that thing.
If I remember correctly, the only time we can prove that Dover was still alive is... The victim was not seen as he stayed locked up in his room after the contest had begun. The only one who could have unlocked the locked rooms was Jeff Master. Was Master's desserts all you ate?
Well, actually, no. After the afternoon tea, I also ate Icy's desserts.
After the contest began, Isaac Dover was locked up in his room. If we assume he was killed at some point before Delicious snuck into the room, then there is a high chance that he was killed before the afternoon tea was over.
Gee, are the two last pieces of logic a part of logic where I can't even fucking not much. It's just he had the chance to do stuff while he had chance to do stuff during the afternoon tea. Fucking Jesus, why is today Microwave Central?
Isaac Dover was alive up until the afternoon tea began. Ergo, that is the only time when Mr. Gustavia could have killed Dover.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, are you satisfied?
Sorry, but I am far from satisfied. Because I am finally starting to see the truth behind the case.
Are you saying you have found some evidence to show us that truth?
No, there is no need to present any evidence, since we can just have Mr. Gustavia tell us the truth.
So this is why you use that, right?
Indeed. Mr. Gustavia, there is one thing I want you to tell me. I said, Mr. Gustavia, there is one thing I want you to tell me.
What is it?
During the finals of the contest, you made your desserts on your own.
I wanted to compete for the title of the world's greatest pastry chef on my own merits.
If that was truly the case, you would have competed on your own merits from the start. I want you to tell me why it was necessary for you to cooperate with Isaac Dover.
Oh shit, logic chess, now!
During the contest 18 years ago, Mr. Gustavia collaborated with Mr. Dover. I wonder what made them decide to cooperate in the first place. That's what I need to draw from him, but...
Oh, Jesus! The only thing missing there is a knight.
It seems he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. First, I'll ask why he collaborated with Mr. Dover. The truth has been hidden for 18 years. That ends today. Why did you decide to collaborate with Isaac Dover?
Sir Dover and I were already acquaintances even before the contest began. Since he was interested in the contest, we simply decided to enter it together.
You know, I wish I could make his voice like a little more evil, but there's just no way to make that voice evil. Joining forces with a sculptor, you weren't confident in your own abilities?
You know nothing about me. We wanted to make the great works together.
You couldn't make it on your own? I will reveal all your lies for what they are. Oh. Oh, okay, so I just...
Is that all? You bore me with your empty heart, Sir Prosecutor. And I also killed 70 people in the rampage.
Yeah, and you should be careful not to make careless statements. I must read my opponent's reactions and emotions and strike with the right words. Okay. Wait and see.
Okay. Sir Dover's son and my own attended the same elementary school, which I shot up. We all got along well from the start.
Really? So were you going to share the title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef together?
Wait and see? My condition may be worsening. I should get back to the infirmary.
Okay, so when he does meditate, I have to be aggressive. When he doesn't, I have to be passive. That's weird. Oh my god, this is... Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Wait and see. Wake up! As expected, he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. Mr. Dover was a sculptor. I doubt he had any interest in the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. In that case, where did his true goals lie?
Indeed, my goal was the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. However, Sir Dover's goal was the grand prize, the angel's recipe.
Oh shit! So he was going to win and photograph the angel's recipe for him. But then something came in between that. I see, you cooperated because your interests were aligned. But there must have been a reason why your partnership soured.
Sir Prosecutor, I am the victim of a poisoning. I also poisoned kittens. If you're going to suspect me in this manner, perhaps I'd better return to the infirmary to poison more kittens.
Wait a moment.
In that case, you should end things soon. I am not a patient man. I will kill you.
It seems he's trying to leave. I can't let that happen. He's still hiding something. Next, I should ask him about his true goal. Okay, good. I need to keep the pressure on him, while being cautious of the time. Didn't you have another goal besides the title? The title alone doesn't seem to have much value.
How dare the likes of you insult the title of a confectionery artist? My only goal was the title itself. I had no interest in anything else. My dream was to become the world's greatest pastry chef.
Wait and see.
18 years ago I was lacking in design sense. However, things are different now.
Oh, are you saying that you have improved at your craft?
Exactly. For I have trained
at the rip. That was it! That was why he can still be tried for this, because he was like in Shangfa for over 3 years. I have trained at the Republic of Shangfa. I failed to see the results of your training. Yes. At the time, I also studied Mr. Master's works. I would often watch his show with my son. So you were studying Mr. Master's works to improve your own skills. If you had his recipes, perhaps it would have been easier for you to become the world's greatest. Perhaps. To a pastry chef, Sir Master's recipes were worth their weight in gold. You were interested in his recipes. If becoming the world's greatest pastry chef was your goal, you should have also been interested in the grand prize, the Angel's recipe. The recipes of the world's greatest pastry chef. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't interested. However, I wouldn't think that simply being interested would be a problem. I wonder about that. The Angel's recipe's true nature was not for making desserts, but cures. And all the contest participants should have been aware of that. Yeah, I also can't do that whole I can't do that in the Francis voice. That's impossible. Looks like I'm getting close. He isn't meditating anymore. Now to slowly but surely drive him into a corner. Next, I'll ask what he planned to use the recipe book for. Wait, did you intend to win the Angel's recipe and use it to make desserts? Of course. If I obtained the Angel's recipe, I was going to use it in my training. I knew the Angel's recipe was worth a lot of money. I don't know that exact details, but that recipe book was much too valuable to be sold. Okay. You seem to know a lot about the book. You seem to know quite a lot about the Angel's recipe. It was explained to all the contest participants at the beginning of the contest. In that case, you must know about the recipe's true nature, the recipe book's true nature. That it was not a recipe book for desserts after all. Impressive, Sir Prosecutor. So you know the true nature of the Angel's recipe. The Angel's recipe, some have called it the ultimate recipe book. It contained formulas for new medicines that were not yet on the market. But why? He knew the recipes were actually formulas for new medicines. This could be a useful clue. The Angel's recipe, did you know its true value? Silly question, it contains Sir Master's best dessert recipes. Any pastry chef worth their salt would want it. Looks like that clue will come in handy. You may have studied design in Shangfa. We don't know, maybe. However, your skills in lying could use more work. Oh my god. I'm just imagining with this persona I've given him. My son does not have hypogenusia. What I was trying to get from the Angel's recipe was the Megatoxin X so I could kill my own son. However, your skills in lying could use some more work. You just said earlier that the Angel recipe contained formulas for medicines. You weren't interested in desserts, you want the medicine formulas. Did you need a new medicine? Oh shit. Now, why would a pastry chef such as yourself be so interested in medicine? Perhaps what you were really after was the information about the new medicine. Oh shit, only the queen left. I've underestimated you, Sir Prosecutor. Yes? My goal was more than just the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. He probably has Yeah, his son has something, but probably not that salt thing. At the time, my son was ill. I needed the recipe for the medicine. That's a queen, yes. Your son was ill. Tell me more about it. Nah, kings have a cross at the top. To protect my son's honor, I can say no more. Judging by the worried look on his face, I must have struck a nerve. Next, I need him to tell me more about his son's illness. This is it. This will be my final move of the game. What was the name of your son's illness? Sir Prosecutor, how insensitive of you. What if he was just really scared that his son would eat something poisonous that was supposed to be really salty? My son was seriously ill. I will not be discussing this with the likes of you. It seems I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Maybe I should try tag on another line. His son ate one of the rock salt lamps. I must read my opponent's reactions and emotions and strike with the right words. What was your son like? What kind of person was your son? Ah, my boy, he loved the desserts I made. Did you enter the contest solely for your son? Sir Prosecutor, you could never understand the feelings a father has for his son. I wanted nothing more than to cure my boy's illness. Until the semifinals, my son would always drop by the contest venue to play. Is that so? Wouldn't he get in your way? I doubt you had time to care for your son while you were challenging Mr. Master. That may be so, but I wanted to grant my son's wish. He said he always wanted to be the first to eat my desserts. Well, we're kind of talking about him a lot in past tense. I feel like his son is dead. Oh shit. Like I just made fuck. Shit, what's your son like? About your son. If he was so sick, wouldn't it be difficult for him to come and play with you? My son's illness, it wasn't life-threatening. Really? So it was just That might serve as a clue. Looks like that clue will come in handy. Oh, Bishop. You told me your son's illness was not life-threatening. Is there really a need to be so secretive about it? It was enough to keep him from living a normal life. Hip can't taste salt. That must have been difficult for your son. I tried everything I could to cure his illness. It wasn't fair for the poor boy. He could never taste the desserts he loved so much. Yeah, he has can't taste sugar. Oops. The angel's recipe contains a cure for a certain illness. A remedy that could also cure Mr. Master's taste disorder. Was he too fat? That fucking... What? He had it too? He had it too, I see. So your son suffers from a taste disorder. I didn't think you'd figure it out so quickly. In order to cure your son's taste disorder, You needed the recipe book. Wasn't that your true goal?
It is as you say.
Based on how he's acted until now, it appears he is still hiding something. It seems I don't have enough clues to proceed with the... Jesus! Maybe I should try another line of attack. There we go. Did the angel's recipe have the only cure? And it wasn't this one? See, if you told me that before the was he too fat, I would have thought you meant that one.
Yes, though the medicine is being sold everywhere now. At the time, the recipe book was my one and only option. That's why I continued making my desserts without joining the others for tea time.
So you weren't interested in what Mr. Master was making? You sure seem confident in your chances of winning.
I couldn't be bothered to pay attention to the other contestant desserts. God damn it, he's hard to figure out.
You had interest in Mr. Master's works. You just said earlier that you study Mr. Master's works. In addition, if your goal was to win the contest in order to get the medicine formula, you must have been curious about the other contestants' entries as well. I think what I'm currently being thrown off by is previously it was literally only pay attention to what they say or what their body language is, and now it is also did they say anything that doesn't make sense.
There was time to sample the other desserts during the contest, but none of their entries had any flavor. So I didn't want to eat any of it. I suspect I may have been a bit nervous as well.
So everything he ate tasted flavorless. So he has it too? Was he too fat? I would have picked that if I wasn't so low on time right now. Looks like that clue will come in handy. Didn't you also have the illness? Oh shit, it's Rook! Being unable to taste anything regardless of what you eat. Such a bitter illness. That reminds me, didn't you say something similar earlier? None of their entries had any flavor, so I didn't feel like eating any of it. Wasn't it? Such an umami illness. Perhaps your son wasn't the only one who suffered from a taste disorder. Still not over though, Jesus. It's hard to imagine being a successful pastry chef without a sense of taste. Perhaps what you really wanted was to cure yourself.
That's completely ludicrous. 18 years ago, I made those desserts all by myself.
Shit, didn't you collaborate with Mr. Dover? Whew. It seems you've caught yourself in a contradiction. Didn't you cooperate with Isaac Dover in the contest? I hope that wasn't the obviously false one that had the really funny line, because I could not have picked it. I would have died. You can hardly say you made the desserts all by yourself.
Go.
You must take great pride in your abilities as a pastry chef. But to betray your pride and cooperate with another contestant. You did it all to cure your own disease.
Well done, Sir Prosecutor. It is as you say.
The one with the taste disorder is not my son. It is I. No one knew. I've kept it a secret for 18 years.
It doesn't matter how long the secret is kept. If you lie before me, I will expose it. Dane Gustavia and Isaac Dover were both trying to obtain the recipes for the new medicines. Gustavia to cure his own condition, and Dover most likely to sell the recipe book for money. For this reason, they entered the contest as a collaborative effort. And with that, checkmate.
Whoa! That just completely healed me! I have never taught this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago. Taste disorder? It was a severe disorder. I was unable to discern any flavor at all. It's the one illness a pastry chef dreads above all.
Those symptoms sound a bit different from Mr. Master's taste disorder.
Mr. Master's condition is known as hypogeusia. It simply causes a decreased sensitivity to certain specific flavors. I'm sure it has caused Sir Master much pain too. After all, no medication was available to cure it 18 years ago.
In order to cure your taste disorder, you would need Mr. Master's Angel's recipe. And that's why you entered the contest, am I correct?
That was one of my goals, but I still had my sights on the title of world's greatest. When it comes to making desserts, I won't lose to anyone. Even without the ability to taste, I still have the utmost confidence in my flavors.
Oh, so I presume you also prepared your desserts in the finals with the intent to win.
That goes without saying.
According to what Mr. Shields told us earlier, the evaluation of Mr. Gustavia's entry was... Up until the semi-finals, Mr. Gustavia's flavors and design were to my liking. Unfortunately, both the taste and appearance of his finals entry left much to be desired. It seems the desserts you made for the finals was not rated highly in regards to flavor.
Okay.
Mr. Gustavia, you will tell us about how you made your desserts during the final.
Very well. It seems I must teach you upstarts a lesson. Sir Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the flavor, he was in charge of the design. However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills. I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame. How about that, Sir Prosecutor? This is the truth of 18 years ago.
I can't find any contradiction in this testimony.
Well, of course he isn't going to fess up that easily. This guy's been on the run for 18 years after all. Guess we'll just have to keep on pressing him until he breaks, eh?
Yes.
Then let's see. So Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the flavor, he was in charge of the design.
You probably weren't. So Mr. Dover took care of the design while you handled the flavor.
Sir Dover was a sculptor by trade. His sense of design was splendid, but he was just an amateur chef. We combined our strengths by working together. You never did have much design sense, did you, Mr. Gustavia?
Oh, what's he gonna make? What's he gonna make?
It's... Holy shit! See, now I'm just expecting this to turn out to be like, wow, that's a beautiful bird. It's a giraffe. What do you think of this? That's the symbol of Zhengfa.
Wow, a phoenix! That's really good!
Whoa, you really have improved these past 18 years. Behold the fruits of my 18 years of training. Okay, so it was also supposed to be a phoenix. I put my life on the line for my dessert skills. It's true that I cooperated with Sir Dover 18 years ago, up until the finals.
However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills. So you were really serious about the title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef?
Yes, confectionery is my life. Naturally, I wanted to be the world's greatest. But back then, I was still inexperienced and I was no match for the better chef.
But your goal was also to obtain the Angel's recipe, right? Wouldn't the recipe book be worth more to you than the title? Okay.
I will not stand by and watch you badger a convalescent man like this.
Courtney, what does that mean?
I can't look it up anymore, I closed Chrome, except for the chat boxes.
My gavel shall protect you, Mr. Gustavia.
I realize he's still recuperating, but...
Mr. Gustavia, do not yield to this devilish prosecutor. Now then, please continue with your testimony.
I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. So you helped Mr. Dover with his dessert, but you made yours all by yourself. No matter how you look at it, this seems odd. Why didn't Mr. Dover assist you?
It matters not how it seems, it's the truth. I do not know what Sir Dover was thinking.
So to prove if someone is lying about something that happened 18 years ago. Hey Kay, does your secret weapon also work with as a lie detector?
If it did, I'd have already stolen Mr. Edward's spotlight.
There's no need for that. I will expose this man's lie myself. Dame Gustavia, please continue with your testimony.
If the flavor of my entry was good enough, my own lack of training was to blame.
Okay. Up until the finals, I heard that you received high praise from the flavors of your desserts. Was there some sort of accident during the finals?
Nothing of the sort. There was like one part where we had... Yeah, there was the little thief was used in case 2 and a little bit in this case. I simply was unable to taste my work due to my taste disorder. My intuition must have been off. That's all.
Then was your intuition fine while making Mr. Dover's entry? How could there be such a huge difference between the finals and the previous day?
We're not getting anywhere at this rate.
Should I change the topic?
What?
You knew Mr. Dover before you entered the contest, right?
Yes, I knew him well. Sir Dover's son and my own attended the same elementary school.
Okay. Then it wasn't a coincidence that you both participated in the contest.
I heard about the contest, so I made the suggestion to Sir Dover. He always wanted money for his sculpting business.
If I recall, Mr. Dover was a greedy man who was always after more money.
Oh, so the angel recipe is really worth that much?
Okay, the recipe book was certainly valuable 18 years ago. But nowadays, most of the medicines it contains are available commercially.
Aw, that's a shame.
In the end, it seems that each of the contestants have the angel's recipe as their goal. All those unanswered questions 18 years ago. It should already have the keys I need to unravel them. I should already have the keys to unravel them. I must recall all the information that Mr. Shields and my father gathered.
I mean, I could try this, but I don't think it's right. Yeah, it's not. I'll try changing the topic again. This evidence will tell us the truth. Ah, no it's not. I'm dumb. Okay, let's go through this thing again. I'm gonna try don't change the topic. I don't think there's any reason to change the topic. Oh, so then it just stays the same. Okay, let's try the first one. Ask about the semifinals. So, you're sure there wasn't anything different between the semifinals and the finals?
Yes, that's right. Aside from not cooperating with Third Over, the finals weren't much different from the semifinals.
Okay. So you were still able to make your desserts without Mr. Drover's assistance.
I may have lacked design sense, but I was confident in the flavor. Apart from the design, there were no major differences between my final and semi-finals entries.
Huh? That sure is strange. So Uncle Ray remembers it. I'm pretty sure both the look and taste of the final dessert scored poorly.
Then there's no way he could have won the contest.
Even the flavor, which he was so confident about, failed to materialize during the finals. Something must have changed besides Mr. Drover's cooperation. But what? Oh boy. Oh dang it. Okay, so that's definitely the thing I have to present on. But let's see what it is. Oh boy, lag. Nope. Okay. Let's read again. No, I just tried that. Why am I trying it again? Just let me go through this. Nothing of this makes sense on either one. What, me fast forwarding?
What is the difference here? How am I, where does it even say what the difference is? Like, didn't I used to have a photo about from this kind of thing? Oh shit! His son didn't come for the finals. There was another difference between the semifinals and finals. Did it? His son is a chef? Where did Bishop go? Where did Bishop? Oh, maybe she's just working out, just listening in. Okay. I was just worried you were actually gone and you would be missing this stuff. We know he came to visit you up until the semifinals. That is correct. What does that have to do with anything? Your son, who always came to see you up until the semifinals, was not present for the finals. Go ahead and explode all that stuff. Be Dual Destinies Case 1. And then it was only in the finals that your flavor judged poorly. I don't believe this to be a mere coincidence. Holy shit, what? Your son's visits must have been very important to you, were they not? I don't think his son, like, maybe he's dead? But he definitely worked on, I'm pretty sure he worked on the desserts. A father can work miracles when his son is watching. With my son cheering me on, I was able to make the most delicious desserts. Mr. Gustavia sure sounds like a good father, doesn't he? If what he's saying is the whole truth, one could say so. But just hearing his son's cheers wouldn't be enough to change the taste of his desserts. A confectioner confident in his sense of taste develops a taste disorder. It would have been difficult for him to maintain the taste of his desserts. Your son came to cheer you on. Was that really all he did? Holy crap. You seem very doubtful, Sir Prosecutor. In that case, I'll turn this around and ask you. What else could my elementary school son have done despite cheering me on? Okay. It's he tasted your desserts, but I want to see what happens if I pick he made your desserts for you. Did your son make your desserts for you? My son is no pastry chef. Of course not. He hasn't even been taught home economics. I guess it'd be impossible. I see once more. What else could my elementary school son have done? He tasted your desserts. I'm sure elementary school son would have remembered the taste of your desserts. Of course. My son always loved my desserts. In that case, he would have been able to taste test your desserts in your place. In your place. What did you say? Earlier, you told us that you have a taste disorder. I've never told this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago. No one else knew about your taste disorder. If Mr. Dover had found out, he would have ended your partnership. After all, you were in charge of the flavor. Your son didn't just cheer you on. He also helped you determine your desserts if your taste... Sorry, I think I had a stroke just now. He also helped you determine if your desserts tasted correct. Ah, I see. Mr. Dover's dessert was made the day before, so it still tasted good.
What you are saying is quite amusing, Sir Prosecutor. You say that my elementary school son assisted me as a taste tester.
It's really not that far-fetched, dude.
You are insulting my pride.
Your pride.
It's true, I had no sense of design 18 years ago. However, I won't lose to anyone when it comes to flavor. You claim I would cast aside my pride and rely on my son. Don't get carried away with your foolish conjecture. You upstart.
Upstart? In that case, I'm sure your son can confirm if my theory is mere conjecture.
I already killed you.
Oh boy, yep.
Unfortunately for you, I no longer have a son. Haha! My son is super dead. Like all the way. I fed into the kittens I poisoned.
What?
After my taste disorder was cured, I went to train in Shengfa immediately. During that time, I severed all ties with my son.
Oh, you just severed your ties. Why?
What?
Don't tell me. You would even abandon your own son. That's not all. Even today, the whereabouts of his son are still unknown. The police have been searching, but they haven't been able to find any traces of him. Wait. No, nope, can't be.
You wish to confirm your theory? I welcome you to try. Yeah, desserts are the only things that are important to me.
Wow. Wow, now he's actually saying stuff that makes him a terrible person. I don't even have to say that he poisons kittens anymore.
After regaining my sense of taste, my son no longer mattered. Order in the court. Mr. Gustavia's actions are certainly inhumane. However, we are not here to judge whether or not he is a good father. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I believe this is your loss. After all, there is no evidence left from 18 years ago that could prove your theories.
Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do? At this rate, we'll never find out the truth.
Detective Gumshoe, where are those results? Oh yeah. I wonder what those I wonder what his blood could have been. I've asked forensics to look into it, sir. Right, I'll leave it to you, detective. I entrusted Detective Gumshoe with the last piece of evidence. If only I knew who that blood belonged to. Well, there's still one thing that's bothering Uncle Ray. What's Mr. Gustavia's only reason for coming to the art gallery to check on the body? See, the actual twist is that his son is Normalium. In the tea! If he only wanted to confirm the body's presence, he wouldn't have needed to open the case. That's right. Is there any way we can prove this? Wait. Is the other figure in the Gemini case his son? There is one way. We just need that evidence from Detective Gumshoe.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, what are you talking about?
Boom! Mr. Edgeworth, sorry to keep you waiting, sir!
Are you sure about that? What if Dover ate his son? Just the person I was talking about. Detective Gumshoe, I trust you have the test results. Of course, sir. I just got the report back from the lab.
Detective, please be silent. So this is the evidence that Prosecutor Edgeworth was talking about.
Huh? Hey, what's this? This is the first I've heard of it.
This was a request from me. I asked him to investigate a certain piece of evidence.
But why is everyone always helping you out? I'm the only one in charge of the crime scene.
Mr. DeBest, I apologize for taking matters into my own hands, but how about we hear this report first?
Sure.
Detective Gumshoe, what were the results?
Here's a report, sir. The traces of blood found in the Gemini sculpture belong to the victim of the poison gas, Dane Gustavia. What? What are you saying?
Good work, Detective Gumshoe. As I thought, my theory was correct.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? We too would like an explanation. What on earth does this blood prove?
This blood is something the culprit of the IS-7 incident tried to conceal.
Fucking... It can't be. That's...
This blood was found inside the glass case of the Gemini sculpture. In other words, your blood was found alongside Mr. Dover's blood.
Ringo!
What? Why would Mr. Gustavia's blood be in a place like that?
If you intend to remain silent, then I'll reveal the truth myself. In the Gemini case, aside from the blood, we... Sorry. We also found traces of salt and sugar.
Salt and blood.
And only one of Mr. Dover's sherbet desserts tasted salty.
Come to think of it, I remember Miss Delicious saying the same thing 18 years ago.
Oh, you see, this sherbet was most delicious.
Really? I wish I could have eaten some too.
But there was one piece that was so salty I couldn't eat it.
Salty?
It's right here on the bottom. It was part of that liar.
It's a cool photo to show here. What liar? What liar? Where? Oh, fuck you.
That's the liar from the Gemini constellation. Exactly. For some reason, salt had been mixed into the liar. No other traces of salt were found in Dover's room.
In that case, please explain. Where did the salt detected in the liar come from?
From the rock salt lamp?
This is the rock salt lamp used as the murder weapon in the IS-7 incident.
I believe part of this rock salt lamp was mixed in with the sherbet from the liar. At the time of the murder, there were 2 rock salt lamps in Mr. Master's room. One of those lamps took Mr. Dover's life. We know that Mr. Dover's blood was left behind on the murderer's lamp. However, there were no traces of anyone's blood found at the crime scene in Mr. Master's room.
Oh wait, was that all Ray? Because the killer disposed of all... No, that wasn't all Ray. This is just Ray. Because the killer disposed of all the desserts with traces of blood into the stream of water, right?
No other traces of salt were found in Mr. Dover's room.
Speaking of which, weren't the 2 rock salt lamps found in Miss Delicious' room also broken? It looks like both the lamps and the pillars are broken. Both the light bulbs are broken. Maybe they were dropped on the floor. We never did figure out why the other rock salt lamp was broken. Maybe Mr. Gustavia's blood was on the other lamp. Wow! If your blood was found on the lamps at the crime scene, you would have been suspected. As the culprit, you would have needed to conceal all traces of your blood from did I just really almost say Paulus? From the police.
Don't tell me he concealed it in the sherbet liar.
Exactly. The rock salt lamp and his blood. and his blood were mixed into the sherbet liar hidden inside the glass case. Sorry, it was really funny, Courtney. I can't stop laughing. I just find murder hilarious. Unlike the fountain's water, the sherbet's dessert would not be analyzed right away. Perhaps he had planned to dispose of the sherbet when the opportunity presented itself.
But then, the reason Mr. Gustavia came to this gallery...
18 years ago, the body and the evidence pointing to the killer were both stolen. Even the killer could not have anticipated that. There was no way of knowing when the body and the evidence would be discovered. So he planned to destroy the evidence before the Zodiac Art Gallery's grand opening. Jane Gustavia, isn't it about time you confessed? You are the true culprit of the IS-7 incident.
Monsieur Gustavia, you're the reason Monsieur Master is...
Yeah. Mr. Gustavia.
Could it be, after all this time my crime is finally brought to light? The prosecutors and defense attorneys 18 years ago never even came close.
Wait, you're saying she's part vampire? We don't know her age.
Bravo, bravo. Well done, Sir Prosecutor.
So you admit that you killed Mr. Dover.
It is true, I killed Isaac Dover. But he had only himself to blame.
How is this even gonna continue if you already, like... Okay, he will also bring up the fact... Like, I'm already gonna call this right now. The very last thing that's gonna happen is, like, he's like, oh, but it's been over 15 years, fuck you. And then I'm like, dude, you were in Shengfa, and according to the statute of limitations rules, if you were in another country, it's frozen. What do you mean?
Dover and I worked together in order to win the contest. No matter who won, we agreed that we shared the angel's recipe, but on the day of the finals, he stabbed me in the back.
Yeah, we don't know anything about their sons.
Sir Dover, this isn't what we agreed to.
I have to give Dover a voice?
I'm sorry, Gustavia, the deal is off. Also, I'm dead.
What? But I made your desserts for you. I am the reason you got this far.
What of that? Can you prove that you resist me in any way?
I'm a dead person.
Dover, you were planning to betray me all along. Because of Dover's treachery, I was forced to make my final entry on my own.
It's just a surprise. I'm gonna hope that those were the only two things Dover ever says. It's just as Sir Prosecutor said. My son assisted me every day until the finals. What do you want your pride? Another stroke. What about your pride as a confectionery artist? A proud chef loses the ability to taste his own creations. That's a feeling an upstart like you would never understand. Mastering the art of dessert making is my reason for being. It is my one and only pride. Committing murder for the sake of pride. That's another feeling I will never understand. To say nothing of abandoning your own son. Such a thought disgusts me. I feel like either they're gonna come up here or they're gonna be in a future case. Before you judge me, first understand what happened 18 years ago. Sorry. On the day of the finals, my son never came to assist me. Thinking back on it now, I suppose Dover had a hand in that as well.
Huh? What exactly happened to your son?
I do not know, but it no longer matters. Ever since that day, my son has meant nothing to me. From what I hear, he's still missing.
That's awful! Giving up on him like that.
Without your son, you had no chance of winning, correct? Yes, and since I was guaranteed to lose, I needed a failsafe. During the afternoon tea time, I made my way to Sir Master's room. I just needed to take a photo of the cure to my taste disorder. I would have all worked out. If only Dover hadn't interfered. God damn it. Oh, Gustavia! Did you notice how fucking dead I am? Trying to steal a picture of my prize, are you? That hardly seems sporting, since I'm dead. You... Cure for taste disorders. Oh, you have a taste disorder, don't you? I don't, I'm just dead. Ah, this is Rich, a pastry chef who can't taste. Even the dead can laugh. Dover, you... Aga! What the fuck? Puny worm, you are in no position to oppose me. 'Cause you're alive. Why are you? When I attempted to hit Dover, he struck me and sent me flying. I crashed into one of the rock salt lamps and that was when my blood stained on it.
So Mr. Dover wasn't the first one to be injured.
To conceal my blood, I shaved away part of the rock salt lamp and mixed it into the sherbet. Yeah, I should really be careful, I might accidentally win an Oscar. After that, it became a part of the liar sculpture. So, that's how you try to erase your traces from the crime scene. Dover tried to blackmail me by using his knowledge of my taste disorder. If I didn't want it to become public, I was to pay him a large sum. So that's the reason why you killed Isaac Dover. Exactly. What reason do I have to let those who obstruct me live? He was the one who drew first blood. I simply gave him his just desserts. Get it? Get it? So that was his motive. I carried the rock salt lamp that bore my blood into Dover's room. Then I came up with a hiding place where it would not be easily found. It's just like that. It's just like the entirety of the Fire Red playthrough from Grumps was for the line, "Well, I never." I get it. That room contained plenty of tools for sculpting sherbet. Your deduction is spot on, Sir Attorney. It was the ideal place to shave away the rock salt.
I then proceeded to coat the surface of the sherbet layer with vast amount of the salty mixture.
But why? Why did you try to pin the crime on Monsieur Master?
You are wrong to blame me for that, Lady Catherine. If not for your unnecessary meddling, Sir Master would never have been a suspect. Why do you think I hid the murder weapon and fluorescent cloth in Lady Delicious' room?
Oh shit! There's only one reason why you'd place a murder weapon in someone else's room. You wanted to pin the crime on Delicia.
Wait!
Yes, that is correct.
Ghostly, why wait?
As one who sought to be the world's best confectioner, I greatly respected Sir Master. It was never my intention to cast suspicion on him, but an insolent woman who dared to sully the contest with fake desserts. I had no problem letting someone like you take the blame for the crime.
That makes me say.
If you hadn't snacked on other people's desserts, the body would never have been found. It was when Sir Master would be judging Lady Delicious' room. That's when I finally saw an opportunity to freeze the body, but before I could move the body, Lady Catherine had already discovered it.
Why did you need to freeze Monsieur Dover's body?
Yeah, why indeed?
Monsieur Edgeworth, please tell us, why would Monsieur Gustavian have needed to freeze the body?
To disguise it as an ice sculpture? Mr. Gustavia froze the body in order to disguise it as an ice sculpture.
Huh? Really?
Oh,
Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Hall looks like she's frozen solid.
I'm sorry. It seems I was mistaken.
Mr. Edgeworth, please tell us the truth this time. Don't lie.
To create a fake crime scene. The reason Mr. Gustavia froze the body, it was probably to create a fake crime scene. I guess that was also false.
Judge Courtney's icy glare is so cold. It feels like I'm about to freeze.
It seems I was mistaken again. Third time's the charm. To throw up the time of death. Mr. Gustavia intended to freeze the body in order to throw off the time of death. If the time of death had coincided with the Tea Party, Mr. Gustavia would have been suspected.
That is correct. Preparations were necessary to freeze the body. While I was preparing in Dover's room, I placed the body in the treasure chest in Sir Master's room. I could think of no better hiding place at the time. But thanks to that gluttonous pharmacist, the lid of the chest broke.
But
I love that she drops the fucking bowl and picks it up with her foot.
But why did you disguise him as an ice sculpture?
Once the body was discovered, there would be no time to throw off the time of death. To buy time, you needed to hide it someplace else.
How horrid! How could you hide Monsieur Dover's body within one of his own works?
It all would have worked out if the body hadn't been discovered while it was in Sir Master's room. If everything had gone according to plan, Sir Master would never have been arrested.
So, because I discovered the body, it's my fault Monsieur Master was...
Kate, don't take his words so hard. Even if suspicion hadn't fallen on Mr. Master, Miss Delicious would have taken the fall.
No matter who he targeted, the one at fault here is Mr. Gustavia himself.
The detective in charge of the initial investigation was also a dunce. To think that he never reported the missing body to the prosecutor.
Prosecutor von Karma indicted Mr. Master without knowing the body had vanished. I see. That would explain why he looked so flustered at the crime scene. Although, it's something that would stand out if you read the official documents. Could someone have potentially distorted the information? At any rate, Von Karma found out about the missing body after he had made his indictment. And if he had let one person be acquitted, he'd have a stain on his much prized perfect record. That's why he concealed the fact that the body was hidden, and that Mr. Master declared guilty.
What are you saying? For 18 years, that man has taken the blame for your crimes. Don't you feel anything at all? No, I don't care what you say.
What a monster! I'm arresting him right here, right now, sir!
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that will be impossible.
Here we go. Here we go.
So you figured it out. That's correct. You have no right to sentence me.
Wow.
And in the end, it all happened because his kid just had to stay in school. That's correct. You have no right to sentence me. What? But the culprit is staying right in front of us. Allow me to tell you the reason why you can't arrest me. It has been 18 years since I murdered Dover. The statute of limitations for murders in this country is 15 years, is it not? In other words, it's impossible for you to arrest me. I only confessed my crime because the statute of limitations had expired. The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years! Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do?
As long as the statute of limitations remains, arresting him is impossible.
No way! My sincerest apologies, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Neither Mr. Gustavia's testimony nor your logic can be taken as official legal proof. The verdict of the trial 18 years ago cannot be overturned.
What about the fact that Mr. Dover's body was hidden? Even if we can't arrest Mr. Gustavia, this should at least earn Mr. Master a retrial.
Really? I wonder about that. Overturning a verdict of the goddess of law is much harder than you think.
Is the pig trying to justify the verdict from 18 years ago?
How unfortunate, Sir Prosecutor.
Is there nothing I can do? Is there no way to continue? I love that I already exactly know what's going on.
It has been 18 years since I murdered Dover. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years, is it not? In other words, it's impossible for you to arrest me. I only confessed my crime because the statute of limitations had expired. Let's see what the middle thing is.
I can see how he was able to escape justice for 18 years.
Isn't there some way we can catch him?
Mr. Gustavia is an amateur at law after all. They're telling me. He's no match for a real ace attorney. Investigations, too. I'm sure there's some flaw in explaining that we can exploit. An amateur at law, huh? Yep. It's impossible for you to arrest me. Actually, that was the wrong way. I think I need to
I need to probably press him to get something out that he talks about Shengfa. It's possible that some of your actions 18 years ago were not affected by the statute.
Nah, it's been so long, I've got nothing left to hide. Ask me anything you'd like.
Thank you! Very well. Could you explain to me what you did during these past 18 years?
Certainly. After the contest, the medicine from the recipe book allowed me to fully cure my taste disorder. I then immediately headed to Shengfa to train my design skills.
So he wasn't seen ever since that case because he was in a foreign country.
Indeed, I'm certain that I went abroad to train. About 1 year after the case, right before Sir Master's final trial began. And thanks to my training, I am now a...
Whoa!
I am now a confectioner unparalleled in both taste and design.
You should not be proud of your position earned through the sacrifices of others.
Nah, you can't bake a cake without breaking a few eggs. Sacrifices were necessary for my goal. That's horrible! Say what you will, the fact still remains that you cannot arrest me.
I have to get more information out of Mr. Gustavia. Was there anything of note in his recent testimony? His training in Shengfa. Could you please add the details about your training in Shengfa to your testimony?
Certainly. Afterwards, I trained in Shengfa to become the world's best confectioner.
Yeah, I guess I'll look for more art first. No matter how many years have passed, your sin will never fade.
Sir Prosecutor, I'm sure you must have realized by now, there's no way you can arrest me.
Arresting you would be a piece of cake for someone like Mr. Edgeworth. Isn't that right, sir?
I don't think it will be that simple.
It's impossible for you to arrest me.
That was no art. Let's also press that. You trained in Shengfa.
After the incident 18 years ago, I left on a journey. I had already decided to hone my candy crafting skills in Shengfa. Thanks to that...
Art! Oh shit! Get them Dragon Balls! Dragon Balls!
My design sense is incomparable to what it was in the past.
Wow, that's awesome!
You may have it if you like.
Oh, sweet!
So, he trained in Shengfa. I already pressed that. Yeah, let's... It's too early to say that for sure that it's impossible.
Just give up, Sir Prosecutor. Just like your father before you, you cannot catch me.
It was because of Von Karma's interference that my father couldn't find the truth. And now, I'm about to lose the truth due to the statute of limitations.
Mr. Edgeworth, we can't give up now. Your father's last case. We have to see it through to the end.
Okay.
We can't let the culprit steal the truth. That's our job. As great thieves.
I'm not a great thief, but it is as you say. Dane Gustavia, I won't let you escape.
Yeah, by all means do try your best.
One last thing to press, and then we're done. So you confessed because you knew that the statute of limitations had already expired.
Of course, but who would confess otherwise? Well, I would have preferred to carry the truth of Dover's murder to my grave.
Why is that?
I am now the world's best confectioner. I wouldn't want to have such a trifling matter affect my path as an artisan of desserts.
So you let Mr. Master take the fall while not protecting your own position. You alone, I cannot forgive.
My path is for me to decide. I don't need your forgiveness. Miles, it's been a long time since your Uncle Ray's been this angry. I feel the same way. I cannot allow this man to go unchecked. I can see how... We got everything. Fuck you! One of the conditions regarding the statute of limitations for murder is as follows. If the suspect flees to a foreign country, the time limit is on hold until the suspect returns. So the statute of limitations was suspended while you were overseas. Yeah. Yup.
That's right! The statute of limitations stopped while you were training in Shangfa.
Indeed, it is possible that the statute of limitations has not expired yet. Mr. Gustavia, please tell us how long you stayed in Shangfa.
It would be exactly 3 years. 3 years, wait. Let's calmly think this over. The case occurred 18 years ago. Statute of limitations 15 years, and he was away for 3.
15 plus 3 is exactly 18 years, I'm sure of it.
Cool.
Mr. Edgeworth, we did it! The statute of limitations hasn't expired yet!
Exactly 18 years, you say? How amusing. So... oh boy. Oh shit. Yeah, it's the second to last thing. If possible, accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached, then resumes. And that was for an entire year. So that's gonna be the last thing. So he realized.
What? Why are you laughing? The statute of limitations still applies.
Okay, it's frustrating, but... The case occurred in December. It's April. Which means... Strictly speaking, the case occurred 18 years and 4 months ago. His stay abroad wasn't quite enough. We were just a few months short.
Not enough? That's...
Like I said, it's impossible for you to arrest me. Yeah. He must have known all about this when he confessed. When he confessed to his crime.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, it is really a shame. If it was just 1 year earlier, the statute of limitations would not have run out. Those who undermine the goddess of law's verdict must bear the burden of their crimes. It seems you were simply incapable.
No! This can't be the end.
So, Monsieur Gustavia really is beyond the law's reach.
Kate, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Objection.
If you're thinking of taking matters into your own hands, I implore you to reconsider. There still might be a way to bring this man to justice.
What?
Miles, remember the facts of the case 18 years ago. Just as you were mistaken earlier, it seems Mr. Gustavia has also overlooked one key detail. Overlooked. He wasn't present during Mr. Mass's final trial. So he doesn't know the outcome of the trial. There may yet be a way for you to arrest him. Miles, look over that book
of statutes of limitations again. I don't need to. 17 years ago, Master was falsely declared guilty for a serious crime. Thanks to that verdict, we aren't out of ammunition just yet. Mr. Shields, you don't mean... Those who undermine the goddess of law's verdict must bear the burden of their crimes. I'm Mr. Master's attorney. I can't use his suffering as a weapon in good conscience. But for that reason, I leave the rest up to you. The trial my father and Von Karma battled over. Can I use that to arrest Mr. Gustavia? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Nah. If I don't object here, Mr. Gustavia will never be brought to justice for his crimes. And I'll lose my chance to save Mr. Master forever. Is that truly the path I believe in? Yes. Yes, it is. Dag. My father and Von Karma. Their paths diverged. One revealed the truth, the other concealed it. The path that I choose is the one that reveals the truth.
I see no further reason to prolong this trial. I hereby find Dame Gustavia not guilty.
Overruled.
That's my line.
Gustavia will stand in court for his crimes.
Do you mean to say you have found a way to arrest Mr. Gustavia?
Exactly. Why is it silent again? I'll show Judge Courtney the evidence that will shatter the statute of limitations. Why did it turn so quiet? Okay, like... I turned off this thing, right? That must have been somehow the game itself for some reason. Hold on. Wait, where does it even... I guess this is about, because he was convicted as an accomplice and not how long it took. So that is the suspect data. Yeah, it was just me deciding that lowered the volume. The suspect data page. At the trial, Jeffrey Master was found guilty of being an accomplice to murder. And it took 1 year to arrive at this verdict.
Right, that is indeed true.
This book lists conditions in which the statute of limitations can be put on hold. The first, as I've said earlier, is if the suspect flees to a foreign country. But there's one more. If possible accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached.
But why are you saying Sir Master was found to be an accomplice?
That's right. Mr. Master was sentenced after you had left your trip to Shangfa. Left for your trip to Shangfa. And he was found guilty not of being the culprit, but of being an accomplice. But it seems you didn't know that.
That's
Absurd! Sir Master never committed any crime to begin with. You should certainly know this.
Of course we do. That is why we are going to free him. It's almost over. To that end, we will shatter the one remaining obstacle in our way, the Statute of Limitations. You fled to Shangfa for 3 years, and Jeffrey Master was being tried as an accomplice for 1 year. Put it all together, we see that the total time limit for this case is 19 years. In other words, the Statute of Limitations is not over for you yet.
The goddess of law is unerring in her judgments. However, it seems that the prosecutor at the time was not. I cannot believe it, but it seems like the case will have to be reopened. This is absurd. You cannot arrest me.
For the last 18 years, an innocent man has suffered greatly in your stead. Mr. Gustavia, it's now time for you to atone for your crimes.
I had finally earned my place as the greatest confectioner in the world. To achieve that goal, I cast everything aside, even my own son.
What a shame. You can't run from your crimes. Hey, you can't run from your crimes any longer. Now proceed to have a breakdown. What the fuck? Oh, what? Oh. Dane Gustavia has been taken into custody, sir. Dag, that breakdown.
Yeah, so you're up next, right?
Yes, I understand.
Kate,
Everyone, I'm truly sorry for all the trouble I've caused. And thank you very much for catching Monsieur Gustavia.
what you did cannot be overlooked, even if the crimes you committed were in response to a past injustice. As a prosecutor, I'm terribly sorry for what happened.
No, I'm only getting what I deserve, since I was the cause of all of this.
Kate, will you have me as your attorney? I'm not quite the same useless kid I was 18 years ago. I won't let them find you guilty.
Oh, Monsieur Shields, yes, thank you so much. I'm going to jail!
Sorry to interrupt, but it's time to go.
Yes, alright.
Why does she still have the fucking tablecloth there? Judge Courtney? I can't help but feel that you've been dishonest with me.
Dishonest? Whatever do you mean?
You said that the verdict could not be overturned, but that was not the case. A reinvestigation and retrial were obviously required as soon as the missing body was found.
I have no need to answer you.
It seems she doesn't intend to ever give me an answer.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, the PIC has you in its sights. They will receive a report on everything you did here today, and you will most likely be required to appear before them.
Is Case 5 going to be the PIC?
Now then, I shall take my leave. Hold on! Mr. Edgeworth caught the real bad guy! Didn't he do his job as a prosecutor?
No matter how things turn out, I will never regret what I did here today.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Hey, Prosecutor Edgeworth,
What is it?
why are you always sticking your nose into cases that you're not even involved with?
My duty is to reveal the truth. Not only as a prosecutor, it's just who I am.
I don't get it.
As long as you continue to think that being the best is all that matters, I doubt you ever will.
Well, I don't get that either. I'm going home.
What was that all about?
There is much he still needs to learn.
Pali!
What is it?
I knew Greggy's son could do it. I think I might be falling for you. Thanks for helping, Jeffrey.
Well, wait,
Old school's where's the caveman? Yo, Edgy!
and now it comes to light that they all sound exactly the same.
Great job for solving that case. Well, I was busy drawing, so I really didn't catch all of it. Huh? Where did Katie and Justy run off to?
Maurice, you really weren't paying much attention at all, were you?
Well, I hate to admit it, but Larry's duels actually helped us out a few times. Yeah, at least that doesn't happen. I should say something nice to him.
Don't glare at me like that. I'm sorry.
It was not my intent to glare at you. That patented Edgeworth glare, you're just like your old man. Is Matt so? Well then, Uncle Ray's gonna go pay Mr. Master a visit. You guys wanna tag along? I'd be happy to accompany you.
Oh, me too!
Wow, even more. Yeah, Master's alive. He's just been in jail this entire time.
So, this Jeffrey Master, what's he like?
Oh, he's a really nice and gentle guy. He's still doing his best to make people happy. He actually cooks desserts for the inmates. Nowadays, all the prisoners and guards look forward to snack time at 3 o'clock.
Wow, that's nice. I want to use desserts too.
So the chocolate cake we saw in the prison the other day. Wow! He was the one who made it. Everything's connected. He still looks the same.
Oh, Gummy! Why are you here?
I heard everybody was coming to visit, so I escorted Mr. Master myself.
Hello, one and all. I am Jeffrey Master.
Yes. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service.
And I'm Mr. Edgeworth's assistant, Kate Faraday.
It is a pleasure to meet you all.
Mr. Master, Miles is your old defense attorney's son.
You mean Mr. Gregory's? Your father has done so much for me. And yet I betrayed his good faith and I made the false confession.
I've heard the details from Mr. Shields. Mr. Master, I came here today to tell you everything we've learned about 18 years ago.
18 years ago. Kate committed a crime for my sake. Why would she do such a thing?
Miss Hall has been trying to prove your innocence for the past 18 years. She was willing to do whatever it took to save you.
Kate, she shouldn't have gone through so much trouble for an old man who let her down.
Mr. Master, I don't think you realize just how much Miss Hall cares for you. I have something here that clearly proves the two of you share an unbreakable bond. An unbreakable bond? Proof that the bond between Jeffrey Master and Catherine Hall. This should give Mr. Master some peace of mind. It's the statute of limitations. Look at this used gas burner. The proof that she cared about you after all is the fact that is this picture of the rock salt lamp. Yeah, I'm glad I said because I'm not sure. Is it the art gallery pamphlet? This is the bond. Okay, I was wrong. Cool. Super glad I saved. Because they just don't give you a second chance. I don't like it. I'm being really stupid here, I know. Nope. Okay. I thought like the whole thing that she made this exhibit was maybe also a proof that she really, really liked him. That made sense in my head. These chocolates, did Kate make them? She did.
They're really sweet and tasty.
She's been making these chocolates for the past 18 years. So that she could give them to you whenever you returned. Kate. I'm sure they are very, very sweet. Yes, they truly are. Unfortunately, I cannot give them to you now, but I can hand them over later in secret, pal. It is against the rules, but right now I don't have the authority to stop him. Thank you very much. Say, you remind me of an old friend. Do you know of a Detective Bad? Of course I do. Detective Bad is my #1 role model, pal. How uncanny. Talk about fate. Mr. Master. It's looking like we'll be able to get you to... Sorry for ruining this moment. It's looking like we'll be able to get you out soon. I can only apologize that it took 18 years to do so. Everything's really laggy suddenly. Raymond, I am the one who should apologize. No, that's not it. What I really should be saying is... Thank you. Mr. Master, now it's my turn to wait for Kate. I'll make her favorite sweets every day until she returns. Please look after her, Raymond. You got it. The I-7 incident. The case I inherited from my father. After 18 long years, it's finally coming to a close. Miles, thanks for today. I'm sorry for leaving that final decision to you. No, I made that decision on my own free will.
What are you talking about?
To rescue Gustavia, we had no choice but to use Mr. Master's false charge. To use Mr. Master's false charge, which I was originally supposed to protect him from. The attorney inside of me simply could not do it.
So that's how it was.
But after this, Uncle Ray is going to try to clear away that false charge as well. Yes, I understand.
What? But if they find out about the false charge, they won't be able to arrest Mr. Gustavia, right?
Oh! That's true. It sure is a contradiction in the law. The way the law is right now, it isn't always completely right.
A contradiction in the law.
Well, who knows what'll happen. The law evolves and grows, just like all of us do. Just like Uncle Ray and Miles have grown up.
But didn't it say possible accomplice?
If possible accomplices. People and the law both grow. Miles, to fight crime as a prosecutor or to save people as a defense attorney, I want you to think carefully about how you want to live your life from now on. I will. Well, if you ask Uncle Ray, you'll always be welcome down at the office. Alrighty then. Looks like it's time for Uncle Ray to get going. Next time I see you, I'll be sure to thank you again. Really though, thanks for today.
Mr. Shields seemed to be in a bit of a hurry.
Indeed. I should be the one thanking him. I was able to face my father's last case because of him. When I was young, I wanted to become a great defense attorney like my father. However, under Prosecutor von Karma, I learned the ways of a prosecutor. Yes, this is only case 3, and it feels so much like a last case. Thanks to a certain friend, I was able to discover my own path in life. And that friend was Wendy Oldbag. However, right now, there are forces trying to take me off the prosecutor's path. Maybe now is the perfect time to think about how I should live my life. Jesus Christ, it's still not over. Gregory, I'm sorry that it took so long. What? It may have taken 18 years, but finally, we've proven Mr. Master's innocence. Miles, your son, helped me with that. The way he fought for the truth, it was just like you, Gregory. I'm still not the kind of attorney you were, but I will forever carry on the convictions I inherited from you. And if I can... Oh my god! Oh my god, please let that be the thumbnail this time. Together with him. To fight crime as a prosecutor, or to save people as a defense attorney. The path I choose is... The path I choose is the end. I don't have a path. Ha! The forgotten turnabout.
Yeah, let's save.
Yeah, maybe. Wait, I just noticed
They cut out everyone's chest. But yeah, that was it for this case. But it's always the chest. It looks even funny on my side because the windows aren't separated. But yeah, whew, that was that case. I'll be going into episode 4 another day. Should I? No. Should I? No. No, I won't. I'm gonna save. And save this. Whew. Well, I guess next time we'll be starting episode 4 then. We'll see each other in Discord or in Bind or wherever. See ya.